At Glen Helen, Suzuki's Ryan Dungey came away with his 4th career overall victory. But a trio of former World Championship contenders quickly adapted to AMA racing and served notice to the rest of the field that they will be title contenders. Youth was served as precocious rookie Justin Barsha put in maybe the day's top ride, leading 17 laps and capturing 6th overall in his pro debut. We are set to drop the gate and go racing from Hangtown. Round 2 of the Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship starts right now. From Northern California, it's the Dirt Diggers North Hangtown Classic, the 41st annual edition, round 2 of the Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Jason Wygant, joined by 4-time AMA National Champion David Bailey. A phenomenal race in the books from round 1 in Southern California, and we expect this 250 class to deliver again here at Hangtown, David. Yes, and you know, there were some guys that had kind of a tough day, and I expect those guys to be back up in there and perhaps make the racing even better. The Pro Circuit team, although they got a moto win with Purcell, you see 377 there to the left of the screen, and a pretty good run from Rattray in the second. I just think as a team, it was probably a little bit of a disappointment, and probably Mitch Payton giving one of those Bobby Knight talking tos. I would expect those guys to come out and do a good ride. Searle right there, number 123, a couple of 4s. For a decent overall finish. I think he might have shaken off the nervousness. You know, both he and Rattray haven't raced in a while, and they've never raced here. So, but Dungey, he's just so tough. You know, I don't know that he really needed to see where he was. That was more just a habit in interviews, but he came out looking like a veteran and rode like one and got the win he deserved. It was unbelievable how close this field was. We'll go and look at the point standings after round 1 has now been put into the history books. Dungey has a solid lead over Purcell because Purcell won the first moto of the day and struggled in Moto 2. But what that really means is these guys are so close on speed that the points can get mixed up in the same exact way here in round 2. But let's check in with the points leader, Ryan Dungey.
Well, yeah, no, definitely. I mean, everybody's kind of, you know, after the guy on top, I feel, and you know, I think going 2-1 last weekend was good. You know, it was the first round, got to see where everybody was at, and got to see where I was at too. You know, so that's good for us to go home and work on that kinds of stuff and come back here on the weekend and hopefully did our homework right and come in and give it another shot.
Dungey only seems to know one thing, and that's work. Whether it's a successful race or a bad one, he always puts in the same amount of effort. Yeah, he's always going to be strong. You know, he had some rookie stuff, but it seems like that's all behind him now, and he's strong. You know, I thought he was going to be strong. I thought the Europeans, or the foreigners rather, were going to come over and kind of feel things out. That all happened. What did surprise me, though, was Barsha. Not that he got the whole shot and checked out, because I said, you know, that could happen. But what surprised me was that he was able to lead for that long with that much pressure. And there you see him right there, number 151. No, this kid has been impressive the whole moto, not just in the beginning. Well, I think everyone was surprised and amazed with the riding of that rookie in his first pro race. He's here for his second effort. Before we go racing, let's check in and get to know Justin Barsha.
Oh, it's incredible. The team, Guy Powersports Honda, is great. Our bikes are incredible this year. Just so happy with my bikes and my mechanic, Schneike, does a great job. He's from New York and so am I, so we've known each other for a long time.
The expectation is for him to win races, and he definitely will win races. But for a rookie to come in that kind of competition and be able to do that on the day, yeah, it was a surprise. Definitely above expectations.
And Justin Barsha is in the lead in his first official lap ever as a pro.
Yeah, I went home and watched the race from last weekend about 20 times and tried to learn stuff, but I definitely learned a few things. My speed was great. I didn't know really where I was at because I've never ridden with these fast guys, and I was happy with my speed up front, and it was really good.
I think it's one of those deals where if the guy has control of his job and understands what his goal is and where his mistakes may be or not be, he can put it together. You don't want to do anything that will curtail that advancement. So definitely let him go, let him ride the way he wants to ride, and it'll all get it better from here.
Last week we made the joke Justin Barsha they should put on the back of his pads, fast learner. We're going to see how much he learned from leading all those laps at round 1 at Glen Helen, and we'll see if the sophomore jinx will strike him or not. A parade lap is underway for Moto 2, and we're going to be back with highlights of a spectacular first moto from here at Hangtown, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back. It's the Dirt Diggers North Hangtown Classic, round 2 of the Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship. Today we're going to watch the 250 class. Riders are at the gate for Moto number 2. We already have a phenomenal Moto number 1 in the books. Jason Wygand and David Bailey here to take you through the highlights of what was yet another classic duel at Hangtown. Gate drops here in the first moto of the day. Christophe Pourcel on the green machine is going to get the whole shot, but it's quickly that number 151, the spectacular rookie of Justin Barcia, out front again, David.
A nice move around the inside to get around his teammate Kennard and Pourcel to actually beat him to that white line. Pourcel just sat back there, let him have that gap, let all that muddy roost fly for a little while, and once he realized that Barcia wasn't able to just keep getting away from him, he was able to close the gap. But big problem for the winner last week. Dungey went down in the second corner, had to come from dead last. See him working through the pack here, taking on a lot of that rock and roost. A lot of hard work and a lot of energy expended to get his finish.
Third place rider was Trey Kennard. He challenged Pourcel for second early, but eventually Pourcel was able to shake him. And then in the final 10 minutes of the moto, Pourcel put his head down and went after Barcia. But Barcia put up a fight, a little bit better fight this time than what we saw at Glen Helen.
Well, you see from that shot just back there, he was styling it in the lead the whole time. I have not seen him ride any different in the lead than he rides, when he's not in the lead. See him looking over a little bit too much, trying to cover the move of Christophe Pourcel, but Pourcel was a little too strong. Watch Barcia. Dang it! I wanted that one. I was that close, and Pourcel's just taking it easy.
Pourcel, he puts out as little energy as possible. Barcia rides with as much energy as possible. There are your results from Moto 1. Pourcel, Barcia, Kennard, a quiet third, and Dungey from last all the way up to 7th. A lot of points for him. Let's go down to Aaron for the pre-race report on the starting line. Aaron?
The number 411 of Tyler Rattray got 4th during that first moto. He said that was decent results, but he's expecting a lot better. He said the conditions here at Hangtown resembles the MotoGP. They're extremely rough. He said it may work to his advantage. He said he wasn't able to ride until this past Wednesday, though, because he hasn't raced since last October, and his back end was so sore he wasn't even able to ride. So he's hoping for some better results here in Moto number 2.
There's a look at Mike LaRocco just over the shoulder of Christophe Pourcel back there, checking things out behind Tyler Wharton. He's, of course, been part owner of that team, the Factory Connection team, ever since this beginning. And you see Barcia right there raising his hand, going, don't start this moto yet. He's got it fired up. But, sometimes that helps you get a better start. You got to go to the restroom or your bike won't start, something happens, and you're just in the right mood. You don't have to make that transition to being wide open like you need to be into that first corner.
I want to go back to that progressive pre-race report by Aaron. Sounds like Tyler Rattray literally rode his tail off at Glen Helen, so he had to take a couple of days off to rest. Rattray had not raced since October until we went racing last week, so now that he's got a race under his belt, we'll see how he does. I don't think that first moto was exactly the way he wanted it to end up. Finished up solid in 4th.
A little better than Glen Helen.
Yeah, exactly.
He was 5th in the first moto, Glen Helen, 4th here. Let's check out Barcia, see if he can do it again.
Here we go. And a terrible start for Barcia, a great one for Dungey. So Barcia, along with Austin Stroop on the 981, they tangle, and they're way back in the pack. Meanwhile, it's Dungey and Blake Wharton on the 61 up front. So the first bad start of the season for Barcia. Pourcel is there in 3rd, and Pourcel almost tangled with Wharton. That allows Metcalf on the 24 to take over 3rd. Dungey almost throws it away in the lead.
That's how fast you have to go to win this class now. You have to be on the edge like that. And when it's watered a little bit in the early laps, keep that dust down. I mean, it's a little sketchy in the first couple laps, but much better for the entire moto. Dungey he got sideways twice there, and the first time he did it, he almost took out a couple guys behind him.
You can see there is standing water all over this track. That's just to keep the dust down later on, like you said, Dave, but that makes for very slippery going in the early laps. But Dungey doesn't have time to worry about that. Dead last off the start in Moto 1. Here in Moto 2, the exact opposite. He's out front. He wants to pull away.
This looks like a sprint. It looks like he's going for a one-lap qualifying deal for $1 million. He's giving it all he's got, and he's got this kid, Wharton. He just joined the pro ranks like Barcia, trying to fit his helmet over all that hair he's become famous for. But he's very casual out there on the racetrack. Tyler Wharton and Christoph Purcell running second and third right now. Both have a very casual body language compared to Dungey out front. He's just very